Hello, dear students. This is the second video for the 2026 exams revision series where we are going to discuss AS12 accounting for government grants. Okay, come on, let's revise. AS12 accounting for government grants. See, what is this standard all about? Before getting into this, what is the standard all about? See, government announces many packages for helping or assisting the businesses in India. For example, see, have you heard Startup India Seed Fund Scheme? The government is helping the startups, or government is supporting the women centric businesses, or government is giving funds to those who are the business which are started by minorities. So to protect the interest of micro or small scale business, government always give funds. That's what exactly this image shows. What is the accounting treatment in the books of entity which is receiving this fund? What is the accounting treatment in the books of entities? Entities in the bookkeeper, what are the accounting entries? Okay, starting with when you study from the exam point of view, when you study AS12, you should start with studying the meaning of government grants. So, what are government grants? So study with me. What are government grants? Government grants are financial assistance or government assistance. Government grants are financial assistance. So study government grants are financial assistance which requires transfer of resources, which requires transfer of resources. Yeah, here some resources transferred by whom or from government. It can be any form of government, central government or state government or local government, panchayat, municipality. So any form of government to an entity or range of entities. So it is not just for one entity which is owned and operated by women. So entire woman centric business maybe, or those entities having turnover less than 20 crores may be getting this. So not just to one entity, it can be to a range of entities upon satisfaction of satisfaction of conditions. Upon satisfaction of conditions, it can be a past condition, or it can be a present condition, or it can be like you should satisfy a future condition. So there will be some conditions attached. So me as a woman, for example, is starting a business. Government is giving me 75 lakhs rupees as grant. For example, government in 75 lakhs is given to me as grant. Then government is telling me you should continue the business for next 5 years. And your turnover should be 3 sales and davanam. So this much should be the turnover. So after getting the 75 lakhs grant, what if I wind up the business? So there can be a possibility. So there will be, of course, conditions, and if conditions are not satisfied, government has every right to ask for refund. Government വേണമെങ്കിൽ refund ചോദിക്കാനുള്ള right ഉണ്ട്. So anyway, let's study the meaning. Government grants are financial assistance which requires transfer of resources from government to an entity or range of entities upon satisfaction of conditions, past, present or future conditions, which can be what? Which can be monetarily measured. Which can be monetarily measured. Which can be monetarily measured. So it can be in cash or in kind, but should be capable of being measured in monetary terms and not in the normal course of business. And not in the normal course of business. What does this sentence means? Not in the normal course of business. For example, if I am a construction contractor, I am a construction contractor. So this government is giving me a contract to construct a flyover. Government is giving me a contract to construct a flyover. So here I am the construction contractor and government is giving me a contract to construct a flyover. So of course government will be paying me cash as remuneration. So is it grant? No, that is my normal course of business. So that cannot be considered as government grant. So try. I don't want you to memorize every point like by hearting every point, but you should be capable of writing at least some sentences if a question comes from government grant. Government grants are financial assistance which requires transfer of resources from government to an entity or a range of entities upon satisfaction of conditions which can be monetarily measured and not in the normal course of business. Okay, then, okay, so okay, now, so this is the meaning of government grant. Now, recognition of government grant. When this entity should recognize government grant in the books. Now let's understand. See, government will not find you. Government will announce a package. Okay, it will come in newspaper, it will come in media. Government will announce. Government is planning to give a package to women centric businesses. Now, if I am starting a business, now I should apply for it. I should apply for it. I should apply for it. So the question is, I applied it, say today. Today is November 10th. I applied for it and government will be granting it maybe after 2 months. When should I recognize? What do you mean by recognizing? Recording in my books. Is it on November 10th or after 2 months when I actually receive it? What do you think? Anyway, what is given by the standard? So there are two conditions and both these conditions are satisfied. Government grant can be recognized in the books. When do you satisfy these two conditions? You can recognize government grant in the books. So what are the two conditions? When there is a, so I'm not writing fully, when there is a reasonable, if you get a question, you should write the sentence. When there is a reasonable assurance that, when there is a reasonable assurance that conditions will be satisfied. You are almost sure that you will satisfy all the conditions attached to the grant. Whatever conditions, you are sure that you will satisfy all the conditions and grant will be received. It is almost certain that the grant will be received and you will satisfy all the conditions. So if you applied on November 10th, I didn't have that confidence, but by December 1st I got a mail that I'll be getting grant, I am shortlisted, I'll be getting, then it is sure that I'll be getting this and I am confident I'll satisfy all the conditions. So if you get a question, you should write the sentence, when there is a reasonable assurance that conditions will be satisfied and the grant will be received, then government grant can be recognized in the books. Okay. So what will be the journal entry? Before getting, I am passing the journal entry. കിട്ടുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് I am passing the journal entry. So my journal entry will be grant receivable account debit to government grant. Only upon receipt you are passing the entry means bank to government grant. But even before getting, if you have confidence, then you pass the entry government grant receivable to government grant. Okay. Now, so there are 2 points. What are government grants? When do you recognize the government grant in the books? Now the next one is accounting treatment. Accounting treatment. What is the accounting treatment of this government grant? So first one, for the for the purpose of accounting, government grant is divided into two: monetary grant and non-monetary grant. Non-monetary grant and monetary grant. So what is the treatment of this non-monetary grant? What is the accounting treatment of non-monetary grant? Non-monetary grant means grant received in kind, like assets, land, license, etc., etc. So grant received in kind which can be monetarily valued. What is the accounting treatment? Non-monetary grant should be recorded at nominal value. Should be recorded at nominal value. That is rupees 10, 100, etc. 1 rupee, 10 rupees, 100 rupees. If you receive a government grant which is in the form of a land, you got a piece of land. So land should be recorded in the books, but at what value? Nominal value, which means 10 rupees, 100 rupees, etc. But if the entity spent any acquisition price, any purchase price, then asset should be recorded at that price. Asset should be recorded at that price. I didn't understand what is the meaning of this. See, you got a land and the value of land is 50 lakhs. You got a government grant in the form of a land and the value of that land, say for example, it is 50 lakhs. But for that you paid, say for example, you paid 50,000 as a price. Then nominal value 10 and 100 will not match because you paid 50,000 for it, no? So you should record it at 50,000. Land to cash, 50,000. Land to cash, entry you need to pass. Otherwise, you record the land in the balance sheet at an immaterial value. Immaterial value, so there won't be any subsequent accounting. Immaterial value, 10 or 100 rupees you can record. It will be recorded at nominal value. So you got a land, you didn't pay anything, then 10 rupees, 100 rupees is fine. But if you spend any purchase price, then asset should be recorded at that price. If you paid 10,000 rupees, asset should be recorded at 10,000. If you paid 5 lakhs rupees, then asset should be recorded at 5 lakhs, even though its value is 50 lakhs. Did you understand? If you have any doubts coming on your way, please put it in the comment box. I will clarify it as early as possible. Okay. Yes. Now, what is the accounting treatment of monetary grants? What is monetary grants? Grant received in the form of cash. Grant in the form of cash. So, this grant is accounting purpose. It is divided into two: monetary grant and non-monetary grant. So, non-monetary grant we have seen. Now, what is the accounting treatment of monetary grant? Monetary terms, cash terms. If you receive grant, we divide grant. If monetary grant we have received, it can be asset related. That is, government gave you cash for purchase or construction of asset. Or it can be promoter's contribution. We'll discuss what it is. Or it can be revenue related grant. Once more, if monetary grant, if government has given you cash, so first case government has given you an asset. Second case government is giving you cash. It can be for purchase or construction of an asset. So first one, let's take asset related. If government is giving you 2 lakhs rupees cash to purchase an asset worth 10 lakhs. I have an asset, I need an asset and its cost is 10 lakhs, but government is giving me 2 lakhs cash, then what should be the treatment? There can be two treatments. It can be shown as deduction from value of asset. You record first, you purchase the asset to cash. You purchase the asset for 10 lakhs. Then government is giving you grant. So cash to government grant. How much government grant you got? 2 lakhs. Then you can set off this government grant credit balance against asset, 2 lakhs. So what is the value of asset now? Asset value was originally 10 lakhs. Then you credited 2 lakhs. So the asset value has become 8 lakhs. Only this 8 lakhs will be depreciated over its useful life. Did you get that? So the first one is, it can be shown as deduction from value of asset. Asset in the korche kanikam. Okay. Or you can show asset at 10 lakhs itself. Then deferred income. So first entry is same. Second entry is same. But third entry, not setting off. We are not setting off asset and government grant. This government grant, you got 2 lakhs. Government grant can be recognized in P&L over the useful life of asset. Over the useful life of asset in the ratio of depreciation. In the ratio of what? Depreciation. I didn't understand. Okay, now listen. In the if let's assume this is the balance sheet. I know this is not the balance sheet format. This is horizontal format. Now our format is vertical. I know that. But listen, if this is my format, asset will appear at 10 lakhs. Government grant on the credit side it will appear at 2 lakhs. And this asset, say for example, useful life is 5 years. Asset will be depreciated over 5 years. Every year you will pass the entry P&L to, asset, that is depreciation to asset, depreciation to asset, depreciation to asset, depreciation to asset, depreciation to asset. 5 years you will depreciate. So P&L will be debited. P&L will be debited. Yes. In that same ratio, government grant will be amortized to P&L, which means government grant is an income. So over 5 years, government grant to income, 2 divided by 5. Every year 0.4 or 40,000 will be credited to P&L. Government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L. 40,000 will be credited to P&L. So effectively, if you are listening, effectively, if asset value is 8 lakhs, depreciated over 5 years, expense in P&L will be 8 lakhs divided by 5 years. Expense in P&L will be 1.6 lakhs. Yes or no? If this is the case, if I am not setting off, every year depreciation will be 10 divided by 5, 2 years, with 10 divided by 5, 2 lakhs. Depreciation will be shown in the P&L as expense. P&L expense ആയിട്ട് 2 lakhs വരും. And 0.4 lakhs government grant amortize ചെയ്ത് എന്തായിട്ട് വരും? It will come as income. Did you understand? So there are two options. If asset related grant, if purchase or construction of an asset related grant, it can be shown as a deduction from the value of asset, or it can be shown as deferred income. Over a period of time, it can be recognized as income. Okay, then one more point we need to remember. What if What if this monetary grant, if this monetary grant is received, if monetary grant, now one more point, what if the grant, the same example, everything same, we are purchasing 10 lakhs land, 10 lakhs worth of land. We are purchasing 10 lakhs worth of land and you are getting 2 lakhs grant. Land, you are purchasing a land worth 10 lakhs and you got a grant of 2 lakhs. Then you have two options. Either you deduct 2 lakhs from land or it can be shown as deferred income. But how? In the ratio of depreciation, there is no depreciation for land. Yes. So if deferred income, this is applicable only for, this deferred income concept is only for depreciable assets. Okay, what if it is non-depreciable? Non-depreciable asset. If grant is received for non-depreciable asset, it can either be shown as a deduction from the value of asset. Land you can show as 8 lakhs or credit government grant to capital reserve. Oh, very important. Credit government grant to capital reserve. I hope you are studying monetary grants, asset related grant. Depreciable can be shown as deduction from value of asset. Depreciable can be shown as deferred income. Non-depreciable shown as deduction. So what do you understand? So government grant, okay. Monetary grant, okay. If depreciable asset, if depreciable, I have two treatments. If non-depreciable, which means land is the only non-depreciable asset, two treatments. What are the two treatments? One, deduct from value. So deduct from value. What is the second one? Deferred income over the life in the ratio of depreciation. So here credit to capital reserve. Credit to capital reserve. Which means I'll pass the entry. First, when you get government grant, what is your entry? When you get government grant, my entry is cash to government grant. Second entry, if it is for land, I can immediately pass the entry government grant to capital reserve. Did you understand? I hope it is clear. I hope it is clear. And as I already said, if you have a doubt, please do put in the comment box. Okay, I'll clarify it. Now, promoters contribution. So first one, after first one, I'm moving on to the second one, promoters contribution. Endani promoters contribution. So again, I am a woman, I am starting a business and government is saying, if you start a business, 25% of the investment will be given by government. So which means if I'm setting up a new business, 100 rupees is the cost. I need to put only 75. Government will put balance 25. So which means government is like a promoter. At the time of starting the business itself, government is giving me contribution. So endana treatment. What is the treatment? So upon receipt of government grant, cash to government grant. Then that government grant will be transferred to capital reserve. Okay, I understood. So if government grant, monetary grant in case of, if government grant non-depreciable asset, it can be credited to capital reserve. If it is promoter's contribution also, it can be credited to capital reserve. Are you clear? Okay, very easy. Now revenue related grant. What is revenue related grant? So my company is running in losses. and government is supporting me. Government is giving me a 200 crore government grant to run my business for next 5 years. To run the business for next 5 years, government is giving me 200 crore. So what are the journal entries? Come on guys, what are the journal entries? So it is nothing but deferred. Treat it as deferred income. Only one treatment. ഒരേ ഒരു ട്രീറ്റ്മെന്റേ ഉള്ളൂ, deferred income. Means deferred income means upon receipt. I'll pass the entry bank to government grant or cash to government grant. Next entry, government grant to P&L. Over the period. Over 5 years. If there are 5 years, over 5 years, I should recognize the journal entry government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L, government grant to P&L. Are you understanding?
Okay, just as an example, X Limited runs a charitable hospital. It incurs salary of doctors, staff, etc. to the extent of 30 lakhs per annum. So we have a charitable hospital and our expenditure is 30 lakhs per annum. As a support, the local government grants a lump sum payment of 90 lakhs to meet the salary expense for next 5 years. So government has given 90 lakhs to meet it for next 5 years. So 90 lakhs divided by 5. Every year it can be recognized as income. Income under which head? Other income. You can show 18 lakhs as income every year. And there is an expense of 30 lakhs. So as per the standard, so here what you are required to pass journal entries of the company for the first year of grant and present in statement of P&L if the grant is shown as other income or deducted against salary cost. So I have two options. My first entry is bank to government grant. How much government grant you are getting? 90 lakhs. The next entry, government grant to income P&L. How much? 18 lakhs. Now this 18 lakhs can be shown as other income in the P&L, which means in the P&L there will be an expense of 30 lakhs and 18 lakhs income. Or what is the option available to me? Instead of showing it as income, what I can do is deduct this 18 lakhs from the expense net presentation. I have two options. So here what is the answer? Bank to grant 90 lakhs. That is what deferred income. Then first year they incur salary expense, salary to bank. Then income to P&L 18 lakhs. So grant has been spread on straight line basis 90 lakhs divided by 5 18 lakhs. So if shown it as other income 18 lakhs. If deducted from salary, salary minus 18 lakhs, net 12 lakhs. So you have two options. Either show it as other income or it can be adjusted show net presentation. Okay.
And one more thing, see, first entry is bank to government grant and 90 lakhs. And in first year, 18 lakhs is transferred to P&L, whether shown as an income or whether deducted from expense, 18 lakhs is transferred to P&L. Now balance, you have 90 minus 18. 90 minus 18, 72 lakhs credit balance. Yes or no? 90 minus 18, 72 lakhs credit balance. Where the 72 lakhs will appear in the balance sheet? Yes. If out of the 72 lakhs, 18 lakhs will be shown under current liability. Why? Because it will be amortized to P&L in the next year. Because 18 lakhs, 18 lakhs, 18 lakhs, 18 lakhs, 18 lakhs. This is the pattern of transfer to P&L.
of which already 18 lakhs is transferred. Next 18 lakhs will be amortized to P&L in 12 months and balance will be amortized to P&L after 12 months. What will be transferred to P&L in 12 months will be shown under current liability, and this 18 into 3, 54 lakhs will be shown under non-current liabilities. So now we can say government grant treatment എന്താണ്? So ഒന്നില്ലെങ്കിൽ all together we can say either it can be adjusted against asset or it can be transferred to capital reserve or it can be transferred to P&L. Asset debit balance ആണ്, so asset നിന്ന് കുറച്ച് കാണിക്കാം, or capital reserve credit balance, it can be shown as credit, or P&L it can be credited. There are only 3 treatments. Okay, fine. So asset ne credit ചെയ്യാം, capital reserve ലേക്ക് credit ചെയ്യാം, or P&L ലേക്ക് credit ചെയ്യാം. These are the treatments of government grant. Now, what is the treatment if government grant is to be refunded? What if conditions are failed and government grant is refunded? So it should be presented as extraordinary item. You should present it as, because it's not ordinary. Government has given you grant and you have not satisfied the condition satisfy ചെയ്തില്ല, so repayment is an extraordinary item, so you should disclose it as an extraordinary item. What will be the accounting treatment if adjusted against asset? Then it was already reduced, asset in the കുറച്ച് കാണിച്ചേക്കായിരുന്നു, but now you have to refund it. What is the entry? Asset in the value should increase, so asset is debited to bank. Asset to bank. Finished. Asset to bank. That's it. Nothing else. Asset to bank. Okay. If deferred income, if there is a deferred government grant account balance already appearing in the balance sheet, already say 10 lakhs you got, you say for example 2 lakhs is already credited to P&L. If 2 lakhs is already credited to P&L, 8 lakhs is appearing in the government grant account already. So that deferred government grant account, you debit 8 lakhs. What is already P&L like already credited is P&L debit to government grant to bank. So deferred government grant account. If balance existing, already account under balance existing, deferred government grant account debit, deferred government grant account debit, P&L account debit to bank. Now, if already credited to capital reserve, then entry is capital reserve to bank. That's it. So if you go through the questions, there are no confusing questions at all. And if you have any confusion, please again put in the comment box. I'll come up with the video clarifying your doubt, or I'll be clarifying your doubt. Okay. One more provision I need to discuss is if there is a land. I already said 10 lakhs rupees government grant you have received. And 10 lakhs, if there is a land, you are purchasing a land of 10 lakhs. And government grant you are getting is 2 lakhs. What are the options available to you? First, you can adjust government grant against land. So land will be reported at 8 lakhs. Or what is the option available to you? Credit grant to government grant to capital reserve. So
Land will appear at 10 lakhs, debit balance, capital reserve, credit balance 2 lakhs. Then you have one more option, credit, government grant to P&L. This I didn't say there. Credit government grant to P&L, like deferred income, in the ratio of remember, ratio of cost of satisfying conditions. The ratio of cost of satisfying conditions. If there are some conditions to satisfy, you got 10 lakh, you got 2 lakhs grant, but next 4 years you have some conditions to satisfy. And a condition satisfy, land improve cheyanam അല്ലെങ്കിൽ land maintain cheyanam, land is to be maintained for 4. So next 4 years I will be incurring an expense of 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh and 1 lakh to maintain. Then this grant of 50 is not 50, 2 lakhs. This 2 lakhs can be spread over 4 years and recognize it in P&L because there is an expense coming. There is no depreciation. So that is why it is transferred to capital reserve. But if there is an expense, അങ്ങനെ ഒരു എക്സ്പെൻസ് വരുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് P&L ലേക്ക് ട്രാൻസ്ഫർ ചെയ്യാം in the ratio of this expense. ഏത് റേഷ്യോയിലാണോ എക്സ്പെൻസ് പോകുന്നത് ആ റേഷ്യോയിൽ it can be recognized as income also. So if you go through now itself, if you run through all the questions, you can answer all the questions. It's all super easy. So there are only 4 areas. What are government grants? When do you recognize government grant? Accounting treatment and refund. If you have watched this video, now go to your study material or the source of questions you have. You can do all the questions. Okay, so that's with government grant. I think this video is useful. So we'll meet in the next video. Thank you.